By 1940, the Polish underground was facing a complete intelligence blackout. They knew the German occupation was tightening its grip, but large parts of the map were going dark. They were hearing rumors about a secretive new camp operating in the south, but the resistance had zero actionable data on what was actually happening inside the fences. To solve this, a cavalry officer named Witold Pilecki proposed a strategy that ran completely backwards. He was going to intentionally break into the camp. The plan relied on a calculated sacrifice. Pilecki walked straight into a Gestapo street roundup in Warsaw, trading his freedom for a chance to see what lay behind the perimeter. Being loaded onto a transport train usually meant the end of the line. For Pilecki, it was a successful entry into the core of the enemy's secret infrastructure. When he arrived, the guards stripped away his identity and replaced his name with a number. He moved through the gates with a specific objective: to systematically map the camp's extermination machinery. The immediate obstacle was the environment itself. The SS relied on absolute isolation to keep their operations hidden, so Pilecki had to construct a communication apparatus from scratch. For Pilecki, every day survived held value only if it meant the truth had a chance to escape the wire. The scale of the camp's operations was massive. Documenting it required a network of eyes across every sector of the facility. Pilecki organized the Union of Military Organization, or ZO, an underground resistance network built entirely of inmates. To prevent the Gestapo unraveling the group, he designed ZO with a strict cellular architecture. Members of a 5-man cell had no knowledge of others. This isolation allowed units to execute industrial sabotage, like loosening bolts, without exposing the command structure if caught. The network also managed internal operations, stealing medicine for sick prisoners, and even using biological warfare against the guards by lacing SS officers' food with typhus. Pilecki had weaponized the camp's victims, turning an intelligence-gathering mission into a functioning resistance engine. Eventually, ZOL shifted its focus to the information war, compiling the first comprehensive reports detailing the mass executions taking place inside. Getting that data out meant building a coordinated courier system. Information was physically carried past the guards by sympathetic civilian workers and smuggled directly to the Western Allies. But when the reports arrived, they were met with disbelief. The Allied leadership read the data, dismissed the death tolls as exaggerated, and refused to bomb the camp's rail lines. Meanwhile, the Gestapo was hunting ZOL's leadership inside the camp, rapidly shrinking Pilecki's window of opportunity. Since the data pipeline failed to trigger a rescue, Pilecki realized he had to escape to physically force the world to listen. In the spring of 1943, he made his move. Along with 2 other prisoners, Pilecki cut through the back of a bakery fence and evaded SS patrols through the freezing night. He survived the escape, but his fight didn't end. He rejoined the underground and fought directly against the occupation during the Warsaw Uprising. But the end of the war brought a shift in the regime. The liberation of Poland to a free Poland made him an existential threat to the new Soviet-backed secret police. In 1948, the state captured him. They tortured him, fabricated charges of espionage, and executed him. The man who voluntarily entered the deadliest camp in Europe was murdered by the forces that claimed to liberate his country. Following his execution, the Soviet state censored the historical record, erasing Pilecki's name for decades. But the intelligence he gathered survived the regime that tried to bury it. After the Cold War, his Auschwitz reports were declassified and published. Totalitarian states can destroy a physical body and manipulate history, but the demand for the truth can never be fully eradicated.